Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing a look at 4 decks to see what I'll play at the PQ that is in a couple of days. So the last 2 nights I've played Palp Colossus and Han1 Green. Palp Colossus I went 7-3, Han1 Green I went 8-2. Today I'm going to play Han2 Blue. The method is that I play 10 games. Whichever of these 4 decks has the best win rate is the deck I play. So a lot of variance there, but it kind of worked last time. And it's always good practice to try new decks that you don't normally play, because these are leaders that I haven't played in a PQ before, and help you get some knowledge about the deck, how to attack it when you're playing into it. Alright, so we've got a Han1 Blue to start with. Han1 Blue cheats out the Anakin unit, or doesn't cheat it out, it has a very reliable way of making it a -6/-6, and it typically just plays all the small force units. Okay, so we've got a Marin, so it'll be a 2-3, which I think is okay against their force units, which will be a 2-4. So let's go with that. So we're going to get rid of one Marin, and then we've got a choice to get rid of a Fel or a Poe here. I think I'm going to get rid of the Poe just because he's likely to have an Anakin. Alright, we'll play the Marin down. It would be nice to get like a Force Lightning or something, so that's not a great card that we wanted to see into there. Oh wow, that's not great at all as a draw. So we've got 2 crates. I think we have to get rid of one there. So we have to attack base to start with. We'll get the force. We won't deal any damage. And then we'll play the Ki-Adi-Mundi out here and draw 2 cards. Alright, so we can claim here. We'll see where he goes with the Venestra. Alright, he goes into our units. We're not completely unhappy with that. Get rid of the Yaddle, so we can just play an itinerant that is shielded. He's likely to have a Chirrut coming out next, but then we've got the Anakin that we can cheat out 1 turn earlier as well. Alright, so he attacks base for 3, we'll claim. I'm pretty sure it'll be the Chirrut. Not a Chirrut, a Yoda. Okay, so that seems okay by us, because we can trade into this Ezra. When you're playing Han1 Blue, it's good to look at their discard to see if they've been able to shuffle any villainy cards, but he hasn't really ramped up too much yet. So we know with Han that Han can cheat out a resource temporarily. Okay, I think we're fine with that. Alright, let's bring out our Han unit. Hey GM Holmes, I'm doing great. I've got a PQ in a few days, so just prepping, playing a few different decks and seeing what I'll take. I've actually got a couple sleeved here at the moment. I've got Akira, which I've got Akira Showcase. I've never actually played Kira in a tournament at all. So what did he do? He uses Han to move a resource. I think we can just play the Chirrut here. So we can... Let's play the Owen. Let's see what he does here. Hitting into Chirrut, so we can restrict him there on the attack, and we can use our Han unit. Okay, he brings out a Chirrut, so that is not too scary at all. So yeah, as I was saying, I've got a couple of decks built. So that one there is the Galactics box that I've got. So that has got Kira in it at the moment, and I have never played Kira in a... Alright, so Itinerant Warrior, probably keep the open fire in a tournament. So we will see how it goes if I do play Kira. Alright, so we can see now that he was able to put a villainy card in his resource row, which means he's likely to come out with a an Anakin, and he would kill the Chirrut and kill the Han here. So what play do we have for that? Yeah, it's not good either way here. I think I'm just going to pass and see him, let him play it here. I can fell the Anakin as it comes out, so there it is there. So I can fell, or I can Anakin myself on the Chirrut. So probably like that. Let's drop that down. We will be able to attack with Owen and just restore a bit of damage out. Right, we'll get rid of the Yaddle there. Chirrut is a bit of a roadblock for a lot of decks when you're trying to get through it. I mean, he's been able to enable his Anakin, so he's going to get really good value out of it. We really have to get through to our Crate Dragons and that here earlier than what he can. Alright, so let's put some damage on the Chirrut. So he'll reduce it, so it'll go down to 2 damage left. Alright, I think we just Luke here. He'll Luke back out. Are we okay with that? We've got 2 fells, and we've got the Owen to bring us more force units than what he has. If he does have a Luke, he'll hit the Anakin there. So still, I don't play Han2 Blue much either. This is like one of the, not the first time playing it, but I typically don't play decks that have risen to the top of the meta, but I wanted to experiment this PQ here with something a bit different. That's why I picked 4 leaders. Okay, he's still got 3 resources left, so I'm just going to restore 2 off. He'll trade in. We do have an open fire. Don't have anything in the row. We do have lost the Crate Dragon though. It's kind of drawing better than us at the moment. We have plenty of removal. We need Crate Dragons and that here. Alright. So let's see his base for 5. Alright, so Yoda. We'll just slow roll this out for now. Kira Red is discussing next set from my testing with it. Okay. Kira Red, I guess that is with Topple the Summit. Alright, so we can fell that Anakin here. And I guess we can play an Ogdo out as well. Alright, Force Lightning is very good here. So to get rid of the Chirrut, it'll cost us 6. So let's get rid of an Owen there. Doing a similar experiment to choose for an upcoming PQ is what Brendan says, and Han1 Green is leading for me. Not sure if it just suits the Carabas meta better though. Yeah, you always got to take into account the local meta. But Han1 Green, now that Force Show's banned, is in a pretty good spot. So that's why I played it last night. I still might be playing it in a couple of days for my PQ. I would think I went 8-2. So if that's the best record, that's the one I'll be playing. We've been doing a lot of internal testing with it within our team at the moment, and struggled a little bit into the Cad Weenie one, is what we sort of discovered. Alright, so this costs 6 to... We could turn off the Yoda so he doesn't draw, or we can just hit into the... Let's put some damage on the Cad here, because I don't want to just Force Lightning straight away because the Yoda, because he'll just Luke out and kill one of those units. Now you must have a Force unit out to use Force Lightning. I've seen that mistake made quite a number of times. You want to play a fun deck that's a meta counter. You've probably never played with the leader, but I did make top 4 with it in set 4. Which leader is that, GM Holmes? Is it the Padme, or is it a different... No, it's a set... Oh no, in set 4. Funnily enough, last time I went to the place where this PQ is, I took Akbar Data Vault, which was kind of fun. Alright, let's cheat out a Ki-Adi-Mundi. So yes, Han1 Green is good into a few things. Not great into, I think, Kira, is it? Yeah. Alright. So I guess we fell. What else can we do? 3, 6, so we can't kill the Luke with that. Yeah, so I just guess we fell the Luke there. We've already used our Han ability this turn, so we can't switch that on. Let's get rid of Yaddle there. So top 4 in set 4. What leader would that be? I saw there was I got excited for a few minutes there when I was listening to the Sectors commentary, and then they said there's a Dr. Afra on the top tables. So I went and looked at what the record was for that Dr. Afra, and I think it was, I think it went 4-4. So it was on the top tables early, and then kind of dropped back. But when I looked at the list, it was kind of an aggressive type list. So Brandon says local meta seems to be very few hard control decks, so that's good for sort of... Well, Han 1 does alright in that sort of hard control, but a lot of movement towards the Pout deck, which could be a lot harder than going around. Yeah, that Pout deck really feasts a bit on the mid-ranges. Alright, so he attacked the base to start with. So what can we do? So let's clear this turret. It's not a leader from set 4, but it's when I thought very highly of it. It's Mace Windu Green. It destroys both Hans. That's interesting. Yeah, a friend of mine played that Mace list, I think last set for a showdown. It was quite nasty. We were in the top 4 of the showdown together, and he nearly beat me. I think I was on... Oh, it might have been the set 4. No, it was... Yeah, it might have been set 3 or 4. I can't remember. But he, nearly beat me on that one. Alright, so let's draw again with Ki-Adi-Mundi. Alright, here comes the Luke. Alright, so we'll restore. Now we need a Jedi really out here. So I can play Grogu, but then I guess I can play Grogu and then open fire. Oh no, hang on. That is a mistake. Or maybe entrench the Grogu. Then in that case, we're having a hard time putting this Han1 away at the moment. A 4-9 stat line would be difficult for him to deal with though. I vote more Thrawn Data Vault. Yeah, Thrawn Data Vault is in a good spot. It's just got to avoid the space decks, but if you avoid that, it's a very good deck. If you're fighting on the ground and you can trigger all those when defeated. Hotshot Blaster. Well, okay. Alright, so we need 3 plus 4, so 7. Or we can Anakin and run in with Grogu. No, let's... As we're having a tough time here. At least we're going to be able to switch Anakin on now. Alright, he's going to bamboozle. Okay, we're okay with that. Alright, we'll play the Ogdo then. Alright, we'll hit base to get that restore in. Might hotshot blaster here. No. Alright, we'll claim. Get rid of the entrench. So we'll just open up with an open fire here. Palpa's really going to spike until net set. That's true. I mean, I still don't understand how... I had a look at the run at the Palp Yellow, and then it had a match up against Thrawn Dartavolt. The guy that I think finished 9th had a match up against Intuit, and I didn't understand how it lost to the Palp Yellow. But then I looked at his sideboard, and his sideboard was not the same as mine in terms of having vigilances and restock and all that. Because the way you beat the Palp Yellow is you just not give them any big units. You just give them all of the... you give them no units and you just play small units, and then you just constantly remove and then you mill them out. So especially in the... yeah, I don't understand how the blue-green villainy can lose against Palp if you play it right. Alright, let's just keep pushing here. Alright, so we go red 5 and we go Anakin. We just have to waste it, but we have to get out on the board here. We're not drawing great at the moment with this deck. Alright, so the Ogdo will just swallow Yoda again. It's good against the Cadweenies decks as well, since you main deck bombing runs and grenade strikes. Yeah. So I've been messing around with a... Alright, we'll just power there. Messing around with a Yoda heart-like control type deck, and it had grenade strikes, and used Steal a Guerrera and that to draw cards up. So I had an Anakin list the same as well. Alright, so... I've lost my Grogu. Alright, we'll just... We'll restore and see what he does here. I assume he's got a hit base. We can play the Itinerant Warrior heal and then entrench the red 5. That'll block the space lane. And where is our Crate Dragon? We lost one at the start. And yeah, we haven't got it there. The same opinion as you on that. Around, I assume you mean the Palp Yellow. Yeah, the blue-green villainy should beat Palp Yellow. The only way you can get done is via the Relentless and that as well, but you should be able to mill them out, and you just play small units and do not give them big units a change of heart and steel, and then have the Super Laser Blast ready for when the Palp flits out. I guess we take a look. So this match ended up being a lot grindier than what I thought it was going to be. But it is, I guess, two mid-rangers going toe-to-toe. But yeah, I think this is, well, there's our Crate Dragon late to the party. I mean, we'll give him the row, but like, what's he going to play here? Yeah, we've still got lethal on board. I could have played the crate out straight away, but it doesn't matter at that stage. All right, we start off 1-0. That was, I don't know, not what I was expecting. That matchup to go. But yeah, looking at the sector results, yeah, the Palp Yellow was a really good meta call, and was able to just dodge all of the sort of aggro matchups, which has kind of disappeared from the meta a bit. This hand's not good enough here. Now, Force Lightning is really good in this matchup because we can turn off the when defeated. Oh, we've got a fan in the chat there. Okay, so Entrenched, not great against the villainy ones. Cheer It is alright as well. But I kind of want to keep the crate, and I kind of want to keep the Poe as well. So it is what it is. We'll start with that play. All right, so we'll claim now. All right, Tranquility is good in this matchup, but the Tranquility is only one of. It gets back your Anakin's as well. Really, you want, when you're in control, you want that extra Tranquility from the sideboard. All right, so let's get the Force. It's not a great matchup for this. Like, I always enjoyed playing into this matchup because, one, they fight on the ground, and two, Vader absolutely wrecks this this deck. Alright, so Grogu's always a pain. So do we keep that? I mean, red 5's decent. This deck doesn't really have much up in space either. Alright, we'll go with that. We'll turn the Force back on. Alright, we'll play a Poe here. It's really hard to even... typically the way, if you're playing blue-red in the past, the way you beat a deck like this would be to attack their hand. But Thrawn has got so many... Merrin... we're gonna play a Force Lightning anyway. Thrawn has got so many card draws for the double when defeated as well, so have been messing around a little bit with a Thrawn Data Vault as well. In no, Thrawn, not Thrawn Data Vault, Thrawn Red. All right, so we're okay with that. 3, 4, 5. So we don't want to waste Force Lightning here. Let's deploy probably trade Chronic into there, but there's not a huge amount we can do about that. I'll hit base. He's going to bring Thrawn out. If he attacks with one of these Infernos, do we... Do we play the red 5 or do we play the Grogu? Let's play the Grogu here. It's hidden. You can't attack it. And we can reflect some of the damage back off Han. So Tranquility can also bring back Ki-Adi-Mundi as well, being a Republic unit. But we really have to try and get through to Crate Dragons, and then for him not to have an answer for it, basically. Alright, we don't really need Entrenched. Alright, so let's just spend our time reflecting some of the damage back onto Thrawn there. Right, so here comes the timely, and this is what I was talking about, is this play here absolutely wrecks these mid-range decks. Alright, so let's take out the Thrawn. And then claim. Alright, so we'll put the Cassian in the row. I think we'll hit base here. Well, he could have Overwhelming Barrage is an option here. So our options are we can Force Lightning or we can play Tranquility here. If we play Tranquility, we can get back Ki-Adi-Mundi. So let's go for that. Because he's got to be wary if he takes this out, like I'm at Luke turn, that he... yeah, we get looped back. Have you tried playing Thrawn Yellow Force or Legacy Run? Yes. My buddy got top 4 in Wichita PQ with it, pre-Force Throw ban. Yes, there was an early video that I had that played that. So it is quite a fun deck, that one. I like the green just because of, especially like Cold Vanth and like the ramp and the barrages and that. But there is definitely a place for the yellow one, being slightly more aggressive, and it's better into more aggro-based decks. So the deck would struggle into the green deck struggles into like space decks like Vader and that, whereas that yellow one, if you throw out a sneak attacked Legacy Run, you know, you're doing a lot of damage. Speaking of a lot of damage, that is a lot of damage there from the Maul. So we're pretty much going to have to loop that to start with. Just those stat lines of like the 5-7 on the Anakin versus the 7-6 on the Maul. Would have been nice to have played a Crate Dragon that turn, but couldn't get these. Might have an Avenger or something here, and this is a very tough match for Han, especially when you can play like a timely Vader on curve, and I didn't really have the good start there. So there's another more there. So I'm pretty much going to have to fell the Vader here. And then if he has anything for the Tranquility, it's not looking good. Okay, a barrage. Yeah, so that will pretty much do it. I don't think I can get out of that one. Yeah, it just took too much damage from the from those couple of units there. Alright, so we move to 1-1. Very difficult matchup for the Han2 Blues. That's why I took that deck. And then speaking of a hard matchup again, it is the Palpatine Yellow. So the Palpatine Yellow was really built to tackle this kind of deck, and yeah, we're in uphill slog again for this one. I don't know how we can win this kind of matchup. So I think the meta itself is kind of moving away out of Han2 sort of control and that here, because you either play the top or you play the counters, and we've seen 2 counters already. Like the Thrawn was a counter. Okay, that's funny. He'd be taking a double look then, because he replaced the Yaddle and like made me discard the Yaddle, and then I got it again. So all we can do here is push some damage and try and limit his card draw. Now he could have a McClunky or something here. If he doesn't, then I guess we push base, get the Force token, and play our Itinerant Warrior out here. Alright, so what is good here? Probably the Chirrut. Alright, we'll turn the Force on. Put 2 on base, so we'll go Itinerant Warrior into Chirrut, and we'll try and block his contracted hunters and stuff and that they ambush in. Alright, shield, and we don't need to heal. So he'll play the McClunky back out. He'll probably take either the Rivals or the Chirrut. I do like trying to kill the Bazine so they can't keep doing that, but doesn't always work out that way. Alright. Alright, we'll kill the Bazine so they can't keep bouncing it. We do have an Ogdo. There's nothing in the row. Would have been nice to have got a alright, he's got an elite, so he's going to be able to kill off that Itinerant Warrior when he pops it with the Starfighter. Would have been nice to have got a Poe Dameron or something this turn. But yeah, as you can see, like, we've put hardly any damage, and he's just like drawn cards and manipulated our hand here. One of the ways you can beat Palp Yellow is to, if you have a strong leader and the leaders are like Yoda, you can saber them up and just keep hitting their base, because they have a real hard time against leaders that are upgraded. So I was watching a game today, and my friend was playing on Cad Bane, and he was like, how do I beat this matchup? And he put some damage on his base, and I'm like, well, attack with your blaster out of your row, and then he still had some resources left. I'm like, put another blaster on Cad, and Cad was hitting for how much hitting for 6-8 at a time. So that kind of damage adds up pretty quickly. Alright, so do we power here? I think we just keep pushing first, because he's out of resources. We'll take him into 14, and then we'll power, because we can play Anakin out, but the problem is that he doesn't kill the Aura Sing. At least that kills the Aura. Alright, so we're probably expecting a Vader to come in here. If a Vader comes in, we keep pushing base for it might hit the Ogdo. We push base for the Yaddle and the Han, and then we play the Anakin out as well. So yeah, one of the ways you can beat this is a heavily upgraded leader. So it had a Cad Bane leader with 2 blasters. Sometimes with Yoda, with the constructed saber, I used to put that on 9 health, or the saber would take you up to 12 health. It was very difficult for this type of deck to beat that. Okay, so he is going to play a Change of Heart. So what we can do here is Anakin, because it does 2 things. It stops him from killing a unit, and it stops him from drawing a card. So let's do that and then pass, and we can put another 5 on base. Alright, we've got the Force. Alright, so he's up to 19. I think we need 2 Ki-Adi-Mundis here. Got to keep pushing, and then, you know, try it when he gets in close range. It'd be nice to drop like a Crate Dragon or something like that he can't easily steal. You don't want to drop it out when he's got minions on the board that he can switch on. But yes, expect to see a lot of this in the next week or 2 after Bobby won the sectors. So that's a nice play for him, because he can then ping and take something and also exhaust. So I'm going to pick the one that's got the most damage. So you're probably going to ping it, exhaust the Yaddle, take the put damage on the Anakin. Okay, so he's going to legacy run here. Alright, so I probably should have hit with the Yaddle then. I don't know what I was doing then. Should have taken him to 24. Yeah, he should be on 24. I clicked that too early, that one. Right, so he puts the 1 on the Anakin like we expected. Alright, so now we can just play the red 5 out. Right, he'll take the Anakin. We can claim. Hits our base. If I was him, I would like pop the Lothcat to put a damage on Han, so he can be killed in one sort of action there. Hey, All Things Fade, how you going? We are trying to beat a Palpatine yellow at the moment. The shielded ones are all very good. Maybe the Owen then doesn't really do anything. Alright, so let's hit base while we can. So he really should be on 27 if I had got the sequencing right last turn. So he has to deal with this red 5 somehow. I'm tempted not to play the Luke at all, because if he's able to steal it and heal, like this deck's got reinforcement walkers, but it doesn't have too much else healing wise. It's a shame we hadn't hit a Crate Dragon here though. Alright, sneak attack. I guess it's a Devastator? No, it's a legacy run. Alright, so let's hit base. So that would have been enough to kill him if I had got the sequencing there. Palpa's been a struggle with me recently. Yeah, it is. It's a struggle of a deck, this one. Alright, so we can rivals and play a Sage. So then he has to at least run one of these into here. Okay. Alright, we'll play the Sage then. We really need our Crate Dragon here. Alright, so we'll claim. So shielded units are good. Anything that is the Force Lightning good? Probably not. I don't think the Grogu's any good at this stage either, though. Hey Salush, how you going? We're trying to beat a Palpatine yellow here. Alright, so let's play an Itinerant Warrior shielded. There we go, he's got the Walker. Alright, we'll play a Chirrut down. If I was him, I would claim probably here. We really needed that crate. So we've gone through half our deck. I haven't seen a crate yet. This deck only runs 2. But yeah, we've had... The first matchup was a Han2 Blue. The second was a Thrawn Dardabolt. And now I've had a Palp Yellow. So this meta at the moment is, if that's any indication, is very mid-range. Or very like decks like this one that really prey on mid-range. I'm not sure what's taking so long for him. I would have claimed when he had the Walker. He can run the Anakin in, which kills the Chirrut, and then he can also ping the attack with the ISB into base, and then ping the Itinerant Warrior. You cannot play this slow in a tournament. When you take a deck to a tournament, you need to know it well and play quicker than this. Otherwise, you're just not going to get your games through. So the question is, do I just hit base? Because I need the Force token at least for Ki-Adi-Mundi. He'll attack with the Walker. I can play Ki-Adi-Mundi and we'll see what happens from there. I see Palp getting timed out a lot here. Yeah, so if you saw Mike on stream, he was like very fast, like he'd had a lot of reps into Palp Yellow, so his turns were, you know, quite speedy. You cannot play this slow. Alright, we'll draw 2 cards. Now it's a risk if we play Luke and he has Change of Heart, because he just takes it. I guess we've got the Fell the Dragon to try and stop the heal. Yeah, double Walker is a pain. Alright, so we'll have to hit that Walker. We just haven't hit our Crate Dragons. We're like 23 cards to go. When we had him on 28, if we had been able to just drop a crate or something there, we would have been sweet at that point. Really misses Force Throw this deck. Alright, so we'll claim. If he's got something, yeah, I would take that and I would ping the Aura Seeing to kill the Ki-Adi. We're going to take him to 29 again. We need a Crate Dragon. We still don't get a Crate Dragon. You know, Force Lightning. We've got a fell, so I think we're fine there. We have nothing in the row that we can just drop out. Just glad to not have to worry so much about my card costs in my hand. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Alright, we'll go to Sage. So he drew no good to me dad, but he discarded it because he needed the heal. So issue here, if we fell the Walker and you play something like a Devastator, we're in big trouble. Alright, come on man. Like, this has been a long game already. Look, he's getting timed out here. But he has to think about it because we are on the last. See, if he had a Fanic, I don't understand why that took so long if he had a Fanic, because he's probably counting the number of cards, but you just sort them out, 2, 3, 6, 5, so that's 4 damage straight away. Alright, we can play the red 5. Where are these Crate Dragons hiding? We have 19 cards left in our deck. So I'm expecting he'll have a change of art here. So if he does, we'll have to fell. And well, we can fell or Force Lightning. So Force Lightning will cost 3 plus 4, 7. So we start off with the Force Lightning then. So it's going to cost us 4. We can't have him healing like that. We've already got this one healing. How many crates are in this deck? There are 2 crates in this deck. I don't know why he didn't attack with the Walker first, so because I'm going to fell that. That felt like it was a definite mistake by him, because he missed his opportunity to heal. Okay, so we'll just hit base here. Force the Walker, that comment before Luke Steele. Yeah. Alright, so we won that one. I don't know if our opponent was that experienced on that matchup there. Alright, so we have a Sabine ECL. So we have to, the keys to this match, let's widen the screen a bit there. Alright, so the keys for this match are things like Chirrut. This is a very good hand. We've got Yaddle into Owen, but we've also got Ogdo Bogdo. So let's, and we've got Grogu too. This is a very, very good hand for us. So probably don't need the red 5. Grogu feels like it's a bit slow in this matchup. But the Ogdo. Alright, let's go the Ogdo. If he suits up there, the race will be on. Alright, we'll hit the base for 5. We'll drop a Yaddle out and drop an Owen. Alright, so the Entrench seems really good. The power, not so much. Alright, I think we want to get our Chirrut out here. Let's get the Chirrut rolling. So he's used up his ECL now, so we can entrench that Masterpiece. And we can play the Chirrut out here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 restore on here. So would Luke return to your control after, yes. After Force Lightning? Well, no, it gets defeated. I don't think it went back. I destroyed it so that he couldn't palp trigger. What's our options? We can entrench the Masterpiece. We can also entrench our own leader to take out Poe. We can Anakin to take out Poe as well. It's a tough one. Alright, I think I'm going to entrench. No. It's tough because we don't have anything else to really play if we do that. Maybe we just get out the Anakin to take out that one. You can do 5 total, and we're going to heal a lot. So let's... Well, that was a mistake because I didn't have anything in the row there. Yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't check the discard. And there is no undo on here. Alright, so let's heal. That was definitely a mistake. I should have just entrenched that that Masterpiece. Done that before, yeah. Yeah, that was a big mistake. There comes the Wrecker out. And yeah, we should not have lost this one. Alright, so let's entrench the Masterpiece. So how much have we got on ground? We're 1 off getting the... so did he discard? I'm assuming he discarded. Defeat it. Chooses defeat and upgrade. Deal 2 damage. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yep. Alright, so... we'll get the Force there. Oh yeah, so he defeated the upgrade on the... Yeah, I played this completely wrong. This whole match I played wrong. I should not have lost this one. Because he burnt his ECL early and yeah, that was not good. Alright, so we moved to 2-2. So there's a tip there. Always check your your discard before playing the Anakin there. We're in a really good spot there too because we had that restore engine online. Alright, let's keep this one. We'll go the Ogdo. We're going to keep the Force Lightning because we want to which is better. I feel like the Marin could be better just to turn our... No, the red 5s are really good for... They have a hard time dealing with anything in space there. So that's... This would have been a much better start for us than the other. Alright. I'll get rid of the tranquility there. Alright, so he's going to get a good trade into Ogdo, but we'll play the Grogu. That'll allow us to clear out the Gunji there. Alright, he's just going to claim, okay. Alright, so Play the Owen down. Alright, let's get some of this damage off our unit. I imagine he has a blue leader for next turn. Alright, so Force Lightning would be nice to get it online, but we actually need some cards here. Yeah, this has not been a good start at all here. Alright, so let's hit there. We'll do another 2 onto the Obi-Wan there. Alright, we need to get some kind of force user here. Alright, we'll get the Chariot. If he has a blue leader, we really get hammered by that play. So he uses Ray, so he doesn't have a blue leader. So let's just rivals the Ray while we can there then. So far this deck has not really worked for me too well. Alright, so how do we do this? When it attacks, it's going to make the thing -2/-2. So the problem is, if we put Chariot in, it's just going to be able to blanket straight away. But then he's going to be able to kill it regardless, so let's kill the protectors while we can. We don't need to do that because it's going to die anyway. We'll do 2 damage to it so we can run the Han into it. Well, we might have been able to, but didn't work that way, so we'll just claim. Alright, so we can Anakin or Luke. I think we'll just Luke the Obi-Wan there. We get punished if he has a Luke. Yeah, so I'm not going to attack with the red 5 yet to burst that Owen, because that may give him a Luke. Alright, a tech. Okay, so that tech is okay. So this time we'll get rid of the Owen. Takes a Gunji out of the top 5 cards. Alright, let's claim. I feel like this deck needs more Crate Dragons. Like, we are not seeing like crates at all. Alright, we'll kill the tech. We have no removal. Right, yeah, well, he got an R2. Let's see what else he gets out. Mon Mothma. Because the longer this game goes, the more we're just going to completely get outvalued by this this deck. Alright, we'll just play a Poe out then. Alright, we'll attack with Owen. Alright, we'll just claim. Alright, Cassian into the row. Still, we haven't seen Ki-Adi-Mundis at all as well. He has so many cards in his hand, and he also has the row at his disposal. So this does not look good already for us here. I don't know how to get out of this one. Like, he can even just like XP up these units to like kill us. Like, it's not. And it's like we're doing -3. We've seen one Force Lightning, but that's it. Alright, send you the Mace Green deck. Yeah, I'll have a look at it if you can send it to me. For those just want to destroy Han as well. So yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that. Yeah, this is. I don't even know what to play. That's the thing. Like, do I just play an Itinerant Warrior? Like, we're getting Gatekeep there. We've got no removal, and he's like 4 cards up on us. Alright, at least we're drawing a Ki-Adi-Mundi, and we've got a power so that we can start to Anakin here. Just put the link in the chat. Cool, thanks for that. I will dig that out. Alright, Kelleran comes out, gets a lot of value, and another Akbar over the top. Okay. I guess I'm killing the Yaddle here. We'll see what he does with the Luke. I've got to try and reduce the number of like units that he's got out here. Got to try and get the power online. Ki-Adi-Mundi will be good. Ray Dardavol is just a nightmare to play time-wise, exactly. Well, that's his third Akbar, right? Yeah, we've seen all the Akbars. Alright, well, I'll draw 2 cards. Then I guess we power. We've got some hitters, but like, don't know if it's going to be enough. So I can hit the Kelleran and then attack with the red 5 to kill the Kelleran. If we can get there, but he's got 11 resources, like, so we're really like in home 1 type territory here as well. Alright, so he's going to pass. So attack there, and I mean, what can you do to that? Like, yeah, the game's over. He had everything on that one. Like, those Akbars destroyed my whole board there. Not much. We are not having a good run tonight. We are 2-3. So this does not look like a deck that I would take. And then, again, probably a difficult matchup, I would say, especially if it's the 2-drop one. So what do we want here? We want kind of, yeah, not that hand. Okay, so the Ogdos are no good. We know that. Crates we're not going to get to. Okay, so do we just play the Ogdo so that he... Or do I play the Grogu? Because he can't take out the Grogu immediately, anyway. Alright, open fire feels like it's good in this matchup. Maybe entrench for... Is Ogdo good? Probably not. Alright, hot shot blaster. Okay, well, we will just open fire then. Alright, so Owen is good as like a bit of a sink, but we still don't have really a play here. Entrenched is good, especially on your leader, to make him a 6/9. He can soak up a lot of damage, so let's see if we can get some smaller units here. Just please don't have a 1-drop here. He doesn't. Okay, so we've got the Itinerant Warrior. There's a couple of lines here that we can take. Now there are 2 of them into a... Oh, wow. A Cad Bane. Okay. Well, doesn't he get... Like, he's lucky that I don't have a... anything to do with that. Alright, so let's deploy Han. Because if I had like a fell or something, then doesn't he get like blown out completely? Because I have a 6/6 unit there. Alright, we'll entrench the Han, run into the Boba. We might be able to deal with that Cad. We can play out the Owen as well there. Alright, we'll go with that. If our Han dies, we can't play the Luke out, but we've still got the Owen that can potentially draw us a card. But yeah, I am definitely not liking this Han2 at the moment. Maybe I'm playing it wrong, but feels like there's a lot of decks out there that are targeting this one as sort of the top deck. Alright, let's see what he's got for us. So he's got a Bosk. So we'll take the one on the Han. Okay, so I think I cheat out the Luke here to hit the CAD. So you could use a McClunky to hit the Han. That would be really bad. Okay. He McClunkied his own unit. Okay. Let's just take a chariot. Alright, we'll claim. We'll see what he does with his Cad Bane here. Alright, so I need 2 chariots. We know the Cad Bane unit's going to come back out. So you can do 8 health. So if I as Poe hit Cad Bane, pitch a card to kill Bosk. That makes it 9. So he's still going to be able to take them all, but he's playing a risky game that I don't have Fell the Dragons here. Alright, we'll hit base. We'll get our force token online. Alright, here comes the Cad Bane. I think if he attacks here, we just we'll take our one of our cards, and then he can have 2. He's already got so many. Alright, we'll hit base. It's probably not that great of a deck, but I have fun with more blue force. Yeah, sure. Yeah, send it through the deck list. I'd like to have a look. Yeah, let's rescue. Let's rescue Poe. What do we take here? Do we take... guess the Anakin. Right, Force Lightning. I've started to play Han2 Blue Force and Han2 Green Force over the plant. Yeah, Han2 Green Force would be interesting as well. So what happened here? Right. Alright, so Force Lightning, we'll go here, we'll do 2. I'll get our Luke back. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the decks that win PQs this week are like. Sort of... Wow, I'm getting sick of this Cad Bane. He's just scooping them up again, so he's going to be able to scoop only one of these. Alright, well, I'll take the damage there. I'll kill the Savage. But yeah, it's another game again where we have drawn so many cards and still haven't, well, we've resourced a crate very early. Okay, I assume we'll have to kill the fall on there. Right, he just trades, sure. We'll go the Cassian. We'll play the red 5. Do we let him have 2 cards or not? I don't think so. Not this time. He's only down to 1 card. Alright, let's draw some cards. Alright, Chirrut is decent. Do I have a Discord? This is my first time watching live and would like to know your thoughts on the deck if you want to share. Yes, I share a Discord with the Bad Dispatch, or BDST. I will get the link and put it in the chat. So that Discord, we've got like a deck list section, and it's the competitive team that I'm a part of. Let's do 2 damage there to start with. So let me get the link for that. So BDST here, I will drop that link in the chat. Alright, so that is the link to the Discord. Alright, so 1 damage. I'll take it on Cassian there. Alright, so let's get our Anakin back here. Alright, I feel like the race is on here. Please give us a Crate Dragon. Like, we are 30 cards down again, and we are still haven't seen it. Alright, so we got one. We got a win. Alright, so now we're into Boba Data Vault. So in theory, this should be a good matchup. Especially if we were to get our friend the Grogu. Now, is this hand good enough here? I think it is, because we can go Ogdo Bogdo, turn 1. We can keep the entrench for his flip. Alright, so Ogdo's going to be able to swallow that. Grogu is very good. Alright. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just play our Grogu down then. So you can attack, but you're going to get the damage reflected back on you. I guess he's deciding whether he's going to attack or not here. Hopefully he claims, because then I can still play at the Owen. Any insight into when next set PQs are going to be? Seeing as the BDSD boys don't travel to Queensland, I would have to go further south that play you all. Well, we are talking about, I know I'm talking about either going to Sydney or Melbourne next set. So we do travel. I should have, why did I claim then? That was not right. Yeah, that was definitely not right for that one. Unfortunately, Kiadimundi's probably going to have to be resourced here. Alright, let's play the Sage. Yeah, I needed to put some damage on Grogu. I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, so the 28th of October in the US is a live stream, and by FFG, and they will be apparently saying what the sectors, the PQs, and that are for next set. So it will be over Christmas period, so I'm expecting some early December, then a bit of a gap, and then resume about mid-January. So that would be a good opportunity to some interstate. I'm planning on attending at least one. I attended one this set, which was Adelaide, which is what I normally attend, but I know the Adelaide one is not going to be in the CBD. It's going to be at half an hour south, so I will not be going to Adelaide then. So I'm either going to go to Brisbane or Melbourne next set. So that should be quite fun. So we've got Force Lightning. We can do something for 4 damage, but then that's it. But yes, it was a mistake earlier not taking some damage on Grogu. Yeah, so look out for the live streams on the 28th. Okay, so he's going to come and well, if he's going to do that, my assumption is that he's got a overwhelming barrage. I can only do 4 damage to him. Let's entrench the Grogu. Yeah, so yeah, I did notice that on the FFG announcement. So at least they're going to announce all of the stuff like well ahead of time this time, because the sectors and all that, yeah, the sectors and that is were announced very late this set, and I would have liked to have gone and turned it into a bit of a trip, at least the Portland one, but yeah, it was very hard when they announced it like they did. Okay, we'll deploy Han. I assume he's got a barrage. That's what he was trying to set up here. There we go. I called it. So we can kill the Pride. Okay. Alright, so Itinerant Warrior is good. Crate is also very good. I feel like we're just going to need heals here. So we can do 6 to him. Alright, so let's reflect some damage. Let's see what he plays out here. Alright, so he plays out a Ruthless Raider. So we can Force Lightning that Ruthless Raider, so I think that's the play here. Because now we've got a villainy one in the deck. Alright. Well, we can't bring out Han because he's already dead, so. Right, and there's our Anakin. The dragon does exist, and Into the Row, exactly. Yeah, it's the matches we need it, it hides, and the matches we, don't need it, we get it. So I mean, if I'd have been a bit lower health, I would have kept it, but we're walking a tightrope at the moment. All right, let's heal up. He's probably got a Devastator coming in. If that's the case, we can play Anakin. And we can also cheat Anakin out so we can get those extra bit of damage onto Boba Fett. Alright, so okay, so let's reflect it back on to the fire spray. We have got the Anakin that can do -3 to 2 things now. Double check. Well, we haven't actually. We can only do it to 1. So lucky I did check that. Alright, we'll give it there. And I guess we'll push. We don't need the Poe. So yes, not much has died in terms of heroic yet. This Boba has been troublesome all game. We have to keep the Devastators at bay. And we have to keep the planetary bombardments at bay as well. So let's finally get rid of that one there. We have got an Itinerant Warrior, which is a good heal, and the Fel, because we can only trigger the Luke. Yeah, here we go. Let's trigger the Luke now then. No, we can't. Okay, well, that is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, we can kill the bomber. Which is probably the better one that we actually want to activate, but yeah. Hey, there's 2 in the deck. There's still some hope. I'm expecting a bombardment here, or a barrage would be good plays from our opponent here. Craving Power is good as well. Alright, we're going to have to use our Fel, unfortunately, which is going to leave us exposed in the if there's a Devastator that comes down. But hopefully all of that restore has bought us some time. Alright, so we moved to 4-3. These matches are very grindy. More grindy, like played Han1 green last night and all 10 matches took about 45 minutes. These matches we've been going for an hour and a half and we've played 7 matches. So alright, so let's keep here. We can go Ogdo into either red 5. Problem is we do that, we're not going to get the Kiadi. But then Ogdo's like such a strong start. But not against this match actually, because the reason is they'll have a 2-2 shielded guy on the ground like a Krennic, and that just trades effectively into the Ogdo. So I don't think that is a good play here. Cunning is the new aggro. Alright, let's play Yaddle down. Alright, well that's rude. No good to me dead. Alright, well, we'll just play it red 5. It's all mid-range, on mid-range. Got to get an honest control deck to punish all this. Yeah. Yeah, if I was on... as you've seen, I did play against a... Thrawn Dartavolt earlier and was punished by it. So that is a good deck at the moment if you can avoid sort of the space aggro decks. And if it's all like this, then you're in a good spot. Alright, so do I just play a Grogu out or do I play a Kiadi-Mundi? I think I play Kiadi-Mundi here. We'll trigger it. Do we get anything to play? No. I'll put the Grogu. I think Grogu's a bit slow. This matchup looks like he's going to probably push pretty fast. Here, it'd be nice if we had an Anakin, but we do not at the moment. Alright, let's get that Force token. We haven't seen a lot of space aggro in Portland, right? So there's not a lot of punish here for Emperor Thrawn Yoda. No, we haven't. Oh, talking of a punish, there is a punish there for our opponent. Alright, we'll hit the Inferno again. No. Well, I think there was a lot of, like, I think Vader Yellow was number 7 on the most played decks. But not a lot of it converted. Thrawn was actually number 6, which I found very, very interesting because go back about a month ago, there was not many people playing that deck. Okay, we still haven't got anything to punish him here. Let's play Kiadi. We've got a lot of cards, but... not many alright, a blaster. Okay, well I think we tap base, do 2 to the Gar. And I think we just play a Cassian. Alright, the Luke is really good because it allows us to take out the Shin. So if he attacks with Gar here, yeah, so we Luke to kill the Shin. Our red 5 can take out the Gar. He may have a Shin Flurry Vader at some point as well. Alright, so there we go. So we moved to 5-3 on the comeback, but we've already got more losses than what we did with Han1 Green. So it's kind of ruled this deck out, unfortunately. Alright, so we're back into the Nabat village. Alright, I think Ogdo Bogdo is a punish against this if he plays Krennic or Crafty and that. So let's try and find something different. Alright, the power was really good for us last time, so let's stick with that. Yes, it's just so much mid-range, and yeah, the Force Throw ban really hasn't done that much, I don't think. Alright, we're going to have to trade it into the Greedo. Alright, we don't need the Tranquility. We'll hit the Greedo there. At least he doesn't hit us. Back, we'll pass and see what he plays. Okay. Alright, let's open fire there so we can at least trade. Alright, we don't need Ogdo. At least trade with this. Okay. Alright, let's play the Poe out. Alright, we'll claim. Well, no good to me dead. Okay. Alright, we can start with a fell. And we do have Han to bring out now. He's down low on cards. And we do have a power and arrivals to handle Gar. So as long as he doesn't have an insane play here with that last card, then we might be okay. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, so Long Pike. He can trade in with Poe. No, he decides not to. Okay. That's interesting. He could have put a shield on Han and trade in to kill Poe. Decides not to. Alright, I think I attack here and then discard the card in his hand. Let's get the Merrin. And then if Gar comes out, now we can just power the Gar. Alright, so we're on the comeback. Chirrut seems good. Well, we have to get rid of that, unfortunately. Well, let's just nuke that. Actually, that was a mistake. I had both aspects in the row, so I could have removed both. Alright. Okay, this time we're not going to make that mistake. Didn't you have Anakin? Exactly. Yeah, I was like, I got scarred because when I played the Sabine earlier on today, I messed up. I'm going to keep the Entrenched because if it's not a high-powered unit, then we will be in trouble. So let's draw with Caddy. Okay, so we can fell here, trade there, trade here. Alright, Luke is a really good draw because we want our life to go back the other way. Alright, so we can Luke the Ident here. And then we can entrench that that shuttle. Oh, we don't need the red 5. Yeah. Alright, so we move to 6-3. Or one more game to go. Okay, so we are playing Snake Eyes. Now he's going to be able to trade up into our Ogdo. So he's going to trade up into our Grogu as well. He has the initiative. So either is not good, especially if he gets a Sage. So let's hunt for something else. No good either way, but let's see what he plays. Okay, so we'll play the Ogdo out, so he can trade up, unfortunately, into us. Alright, so what's better, Marin or shielded units? Probably shielded. Alright, we'll shield out those itinerant warriors. And that will at least allow us to attack and then play Chariot out. Alright, red 5 seems good as well. This deck doesn't have too much space, or they have the Jedi Starfighter, but he might have resourced it. Or we can play Itinerant Warrior and just play out, a Chariot and play out a Owen as well. Alright, let's hit base here. I have to be careful not to put too much damage on. Alright, so we'll claim here because we can then trade into Kiadi-Mundi. Do we get rid of the Itinerant Warrior? Because this Chariot is going to be able to... Another Chariot is going to be able to block up the that lane for us there. So let's hit Kiadi. Alright, well, meet Chariot number 2. Interesting matchup. Yeah, it's a red-blue. Typically, Anakin has the has the benefit, but okay. This is going to die regardless, so let's take the shield off that Sage. Alright, so we've got the advantage of the units, but we don't have the... He's got 2 more cards than us, and he's going to have a big leader that, yeah, does a lot of damage to us. And I have nothing from Anakin. But I do have a Luke that can do -6, but okay. Alright, we'll just play a unit out of our row. Alright, so I think we still hit in, because then we can just Anakin or Luke out now. Alright, we'll claim. We can Anakin out, but then he can... Or we can Luke here. I don't want to discount it because he can just play Luke back out and kill the Anakin if I do that. So, alright, let's claim. Alright, so we've dealt with the leader. So let's draw some cards with Kiadi-Mundi. Alright, Force Lightning is very good. Alright, we'll just play out a Sage and a Grogu. Alright, so we can kill this Anakin by Force Lightning. It will turn our Anakin on now. And then here comes his another Luke. Alright, well I guess we claim. I'll have to hit it, but like if he hits a crate here, we are in trouble. He doesn't, thankfully, but we could have been in trouble there. So what do we get? We get -3 if we play the Luke out. You can still deduct it, so that doesn't seem good either. Let's just play the Poe out here. Yeah, he gets us with the Force Lightning. Guess we just claim. We really need like an Anakin or something here to deal with the Chirrut. There you go. Ask and you shall receive. So let's play that out to deal with the Chirrut. Okay, again, I'm going to attack to get the Force so that I can play out a Itinerant Warrior and take the heal. Trigger will heal, and then I can play an Owen as well. Okay, we are in trouble if he can play a Crate Dragon here. We haven't seen one. And there we go. Exactly what I was going to say. We have one more Fel in the deck. Yeah, so we can play Kiadi and try and get a Fel, but this is what it comes down to in these matchups. It's who gets the Fel Dragon. It's really been the motto of tonight that I have not seen Crate Dragons at all. So I think my only way out is to Kiadi Mundi and try and draw. So I'm going to have to hit into Chirrut. I'll try and draw with Kiadi Mundi. Do we get a Fel? No, we didn't get a Fel. Yeah, so that's game. So I can claim there, but he'll just hit with the crate. So, alright, so there we go. We finished 6-4, so not a great showing at all with Han2 Blue. It just feels like there's a lot of counters out there for it at the moment. So the Anakin is better in the mirror, especially when they have initiative. We've seen that. Cad seems strong into it. Palp Yellow seems strong. So I don't know how well positioned this deck is currently. So I will not be taking this deck to the PQ. So we can rule that one out. And then that leaves one left to see how well that goes. So the Kira Data Vault. Hopefully we'll get a better showing with that one tomorrow. And yeah, let's see how that goes. And if otherwise, it will be Han1 Green, which we went 8-2 the other night. So still kind of struggling a little bit to find a place. And I could go back to Thrawn Data Vault, but I ran that at the last PQ. So let's play something different. All right, well, that'll do for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video, give it a like. And yeah, I will catch everyone tomorrow.